Hey guys, techmadeezy, and thanks so much for clicking on our video. This one is special. It is a head-to-head. Why not? RYOBI versus EcoFlow, right? And RYOBI just came out with this brand new 1800 watt power station with a built-in battery. And EcoFlow, this is the Delta 2. This is the newer version of their Delta that really made them what they are today. And guys, we are going to do a great video for you and a power test. All right, so why don't we go ahead and get this party started? Hi, it's Al from techmadeezy with a real quick message. I just want to let you know the video you're about to watch is not sponsored. We went out and bought the products ourselves. So, if you like our video, please give us a thumbs up. It definitely helps. Share our video. And lastly, we hope you subscribe to our channel and become a part of the family. Thank you. All right, just a warning for you. I am only doing one power test. The rest of this video is informative. All right, I'm going to give you the meat and potatoes so you can compare these two machines to really see which one has the best features. Let's get started. So here's what we're going to be covering today. Again, mostly informational, but we are going to do a true power capability test. And I will tell you on that topic, one of these companies advertises a certain amount of wattage, but then hides something really small in their terms and conditions about that. So that will be a power test to see later on. But we're going to talk about surge capability, battery chemistry, battery capacity, battery cycles, right? How long will this last? How many times can I charge and discharge it? Do these have pass-through charging? We'll go over that. Pure sine wave, UPS, expansion, warranty, solar capability, and more. Before we get started with specs, let's take a look at the units themselves, all right? That'll be very helpful. We're going to start off with the display, and then I'll continue with all the functionality and handle and everything else. So let's look at the display. So start off with the RYOBI. You get the percentage, right? So that's going to help your battery percentage, and you get a battery bar. You get remaining, so 70, so if I have something plugged into this, and it's powering it, it'll tell me how much longer I have based on that load. But what the unit doesn't show you is the output wattage. It will show you when you're charging. So if I plug in the charger on this unit, it'll show the 275 watts coming in. And as that charger starts to slow charge and drops to like 50 or 20, it'll show that as well. But for some reason, it does not show output wattage. They missed that. And I'll show you an image of our testing video right there on the screen. And I'll put a link in the description. You'll want to check that out. All right, we'll show that in the testing video. But the screen does adjust, so you can go in on here. And you'll also do this on the app, by the way. So if you hit this once, it brightens up. If you hit it again, it goes dark. Low, high, and dark. And that's it. Now, over here, you've got input wattage, you've got output wattage, right there on the right side of the screen. All right? In the middle, you've got that, 67%. It's telling you have 67% of your battery. And then here's your charge and discharge time right there. So if you're charging, how much longer will it take? If you're powering something, how much longer will it power it? And you can see all of this on the app. And the other thing that the app will do too on the EcoFlow is it'll allow you to set a timer for 5 minutes or 10 minutes for the screen to stay on, or you can say keep the screen on forever and it'll never turn off. All right, you can do the same with the power of the unit. It's pretty cool. So there are your displays. Now let's just go and take a close look at the RYOBI. Let me move the EcoFlow over for a minute. So starting on the top, you've got some strap holders. They don't give you a strap. They do give you a cover, but they don't give you a strap. So you have these on both sides. You've got a handle that does lay down. So It gets kind of flat, but not flat enough for you to put anything on. But it is a beefy, strong handle, so that's nice. Now you got a light on the top, so you've got a button here. You've got a couple of settings. You've got high, low, and then you've got, there's a red light as well. So they do have a built-in light. That's helpful. The Bluetooth pairing buttons down here. You've got 2 USB Type-Cs. 4 USB Type-A. These are standard, not fast charge. You have a proprietary charger. I'll show you that later on. Power button for the unit. Power button for the AC outlets here. And 3 AC outlets. You've got a parallel cable section here. They don't give you this, but you can add 2 of these, combine 2 of these together to extend your runtime. And then you've got a circuit breaker. Now, on the left side, you've got the RYOBI with the Bluetooth. On the right side, just some specifications. And in the back, for ventilation, and I'll turn this around, you do have ventilation. Now, it's interesting. I don't know that it passes. I hope this cycles through and keeps the unit, cool, because that's important. All right, but you do have that. So I'm hoping one's an intake and one's an outtake. All right, let me put this down. And now, let's take a look at the EcoFlow, all right? So in the EcoFlow, you've got 4 USBs. 2 of them are fast charge. Again, we're going to go over specs in a little while. 2 USB 100, a power button for your USB, Bluetooth pairing light, a power button for the unit. Now you look on top, you've got these 2 handles. If you got a flat top, first of all, so that's usable. You've got 2 handles. Now, if we look at the side of the unit, you're going to see a logo, and you're going to see a pass-through on one side. And then as you go on the right side, you're going to see 2 fans. So these fans are going to bring air in to the unit to pass through the unit. You also got an extra battery port here on the side of the unit. This is now also compatible with many of the EcoFlow batteries. Not the Delta Pro, but the Delta Max, the Delta Max 2, and the Delta 2 batteries can now connect to this unit. Now let's take a look at the back of the unit. Some big difference here for sure. So you've got a solar input. This is an XT60i. It can handle more amperage. So you plug in your solar here. You plug in your car charger here. All right. Here's where you plug in the plug. And we'll talk more about that. Here's your circuit breaker. You've got 6 AC outlets with a power button for them. You've got 2 barrel plugs, a car charger, and a power button for them. And that is your quick look. Let's go ahead and dive into specs. All right, guys, so we are going to start by going over the main features of these 2. So let's talk a minute about the models. So this just came out. This is the RYI1000. All right, MSRP on this is $11.99, so $1,200. Now this is the EcoFlow Delta 2, and this is $9.99 MSRP. All right, now let's talk about power for a minute. That's going to be the first topic of the day. And so the EcoFlow is 1800 watts with a 2,700 watt surge. Now they've got a feature that you can use also called X-Boost. And you have to turn it on the app, and you can turn it off also, and it only works with certain devices. So I'll be honest with you, I don't use X-Boost. All right, I use the rated power of the machine. So again, 1800 watts and 2700 watt surge. Now the RYOBI is 1800 watts everywhere, on the website, on the box, okay? And this thing supposedly has a 3000 watt surge. But here's where it gets kind of tricky. And I'll see if I can put something up on the screen. This is an 1800 watts. It's 1800 watts for 3 minutes. It's actually 1600 watts. I just got this not too long ago. I've been doing a ton of reviews, and that was interesting. So this is a 1600 watt power station, They advertise at 1800 watts that can hold it for 3 minutes. So again, if I have anything, I'll put it on the screen. All right. And now let's move forward and talk about battery. So this is a lithium-ion battery, NMC, and the battery in the EcoFlow is LFP, lithium iron phosphate. Now, the battery in the EcoFlow is 1,024 watt hours. The battery in the RYOBI is 1,094 watt hours. So that's pretty cool. You get a larger battery in that unit. But let's talk about cycles for a minute. Now, RYOBI doesn't advertise in the manual or in the website. And believe me, I looked. They don't advertise how many cycles this battery produces. Now, I think it's just because they're new to the industry. I believe they do that with their actual batteries, like the 40 volt and the 60 volt and all that. I believe they do that. But here, they haven't done it yet. So I don't know the cycles. Now, NMC is usually anywhere from 500 to 800 cycles. Now, for those of you that don't know what cycles are, a full cycle would be that you charge the unit to 100% and then you drain it to 0. That would be one full cycle. So this should be 500 to 800. To be safe, you might have to think 500. Now, the thing about the Delta 2 being lithium iron phosphate, right, the second version, this is 3,000 cycles. And after the 3,000 cycles, it actually goes to 80%. Think about that. After 3,000 cycles, you still have 80% battery capacity left. That is insane. Now let's talk a little bit about the UPS. So UPS is uninterrupted power supply. Now they don't state they have a UPS, although I did do a test, a simple test in my testing video. I'll put the image up real quick and I'll put a link in the description. And it seemed to do fine, but I just don't know if it actually was using UPS to do what it did. Now, EcoFlow has something called EPS. All right, they don't call it UPS because calling it UPS normally means that you're 5 milliseconds or faster for any of us that have owned a UPS. So they call it EPS, Emergency Power System, and they advertise 30 milliseconds or quicker in the manual. What about pass-through charging? Do any of these have pass-through charging? The RYOBI has pass-through charging, and the EcoFlow has pass-through charging. What about pure sine wave, right? The outlets in these units, are they pure sine wave? Well, yes. Not only do they advertise it in the front here, but we tested it. And this is a pure sine wave, AC inverter, and the Delta 2 as well. And what is that real quick? Just so you'll know, if you're buying a power station, you definitely want to make sure that you're getting something that's going to give your electronic devices really clean power. If you plugged a fan into a power station that was modified sine wave, well, you'd get a humming noise. Whereas if you plugged it into a pure sine wave, you wouldn't get that. If you were using a projector and you plugged it into a modified sine wave, you might get distortion on the screen. Whereas a pure sine wave, you wouldn't get that distortion. So definitely make sure your machine has a pure sine wave inverter, and both of these do. Pretty cool. All right, let's continue on comparing. Now we're going to talk about charging methods. So on the RYOBI, you've got two charging methods. One is going to be the AC plug. And number two, if you have an inverter generator, right, that has a pure sine wave outlet, be careful. Don't plug these directly into gas generators unless it has an inverter outlet that is pure sine wave. Then it won't damage the unit. So AC or a inverter generator. Now on the Delta 2 side, you have AC. You can plug it into an inverter generator. That's 2. You've got solar. This handles 500 watts of solar. 11 to 60 volts, 15 amp max. So you can do series, you can do parallel, or you can simply plug in a good solar panel. And lastly, this has car charging. All right, you can plug in a car charger and get 192 watts max. Now let me show you the cables for a minute on these units. So here's the power brick that has to get plugged in order to charge it. It's a 270 watt charger, and it's got that end on there, that proprietary end that plugs in to the RYOBI power station. Now the thing about the Delta too, right, is they have the chargers built in. So all you do is plug this into the back of the unit, and that's it. You don't have a power brick to carry around. Again, definitely an advantage. Now I will show you that the Delta does come with a car charger. All right, so it's an XT60i to a car charger, so you do get that. They used to give you solar cables. They don't do that anymore. So you'd have to buy them. They're about $25. Again, an XT60i solar cable. So this is sold separately. But this is important because I love charging things from the sun. And you don't get that with the RYOBI. So let's take some time now and talk about output, right? I mean, you buy these to power devices. And so now I'm going to talk a little bit about that situation. RYOBI advertises 1800 watts, right, on their boxes, on their websites, but it's only 1800 watts on the AC outlets for 3 minutes. Now I'm going to try to find something and put it on the screen so you're aware. All right, if I have something, I'll put it up. But this is 1600 watts. It can handle a surge of 3000 watts, but this is 1600 watts, so you've got 3 of them. All right. Now on the EcoFlow, you've got 6 AC outlets, and they can all handle 1800 watts. All right. And the surge is 2700 watts. Now let's talk about USB for a moment. I'll turn this back around. So on the RYOBI, you've got 2 USB Type-C. These are 60 watt rated. On the EcoFlow, you've got 2 USB Type-C. These are 100 watt rated. On the RYOBI, you've got 4 USB Type-A. These are 10.5 watt rated. On the EcoFlow, you've got 2 12 watt and 2 fast charge 18 watt. All right. None of these have a wireless charger, and the EcoFlow does have a car charger. The RYOBI does not. So if I wanted to plug in something that had a car charger, I could do that. And there it goes. This is rated at 126 watts, and it does come with a cover. You also get the capability of powering something from these barrel ports. And, you know, laptop chargers, stuff like that, it really depends. The max out of this is 38 watts. All right? And that's a really good comparison of charging and output power. Let's go ahead and start to compare some additional stuff. So, do these both have a smart app? Yes, they do. RYOBI has a smart app, and the EcoFlow app is available as well. I'm not going to kid you, and I won't go over this in great detail today, but the EcoFlow app has many more features, has been revised multiple times, and is really nice. So when you get a chance, try to check that out. RYOBI's got Bluetooth. The Delta 2 has Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. Now, why is Wi-Fi helpful? Let's say you need remote capabilities, right? You're on a job site, but you've got to leave, and you want to just check on the power of the unit, or you want to turn off AC, or you want to turn off USB. You can do that remotely via Wi-Fi. So I can be out on my cell phone on a cellular network, and as long as my cellular network can get me to the internet, and the internet can get back to my Wi-Fi unit, I can remotely control this. You don't have that capability with the RYOBI. The RYOBI's got an LED light. The EcoFlow does not. Bluetooth version on this is 5.1. Bluetooth version on this is 5.0. Now let's talk about weight. The RYOBI is 24 pounds or 10.88 kilograms. The Delta 2 is heavier with that lithium iron phosphate battery, 27 pounds or 12 kilograms. Warranty on the RYOBI is 3 years. Warranty on EcoFlow is 5 years. They just upped their warranty. Where is this made? The RYOBI is made in China and Vietnam, and the EcoFlow is made in China. Other things to mention. How long does it take to recharge the RYOBI? The RYOBI takes 4.5 hours or 270 minutes using a 275 watt charger. The EcoFlow has a 1200 watt max charge, and you can charge this 100% in 72 minutes. Not bad. Now, what about expansion? Let's talk about expansion. I'm going to bring up an image on the RYOBI and show you RYOBI expansion. So the RYOBI has an option called parallel mode, where you can stack these on each other, plug in a parallel cable, and instead of having 1,094 watt hours, you can have 2,188 watt hours. That's pretty nice. I don't know the cost of the cable. Let's talk about the Delta 2 and the expansion it has. So the Delta 2 is actually compatible with, I think, about 4 different batteries. I'm only going to talk about 2. Now, on the right side, you can see how it gets plugged in. And on the bottom, you can see the Delta 2 battery I'm going to talk about and the Delta 2 Max battery I'm going to talk about. There is another unit called Delta 2 Max, but it's a larger unit with more capacity and more power. Anyway, if you took a Delta 2 and you added a Delta 2 expansion battery, which would be 1,024 watt hours, for $799, you would have 2,048 watt hours. Now, if you took a Delta 2 Max battery, which is 2,048 watt hours for $1,399, you would have 3,072 watt hours. I mean, that's a lot of runtime. All right, it is now time for our power test. We're going to head down to the kitchen and throw some things at these units to see which will be the stronger. We're ready for the power test. And I do have a meter because the RYOBI doesn't show output wattage, so we'll have to use the meter. The EcoFlow does show output wattage, but why don't we go ahead and check this out? Before we get started, I will show you that X-Boost is off for the Delta 2. I don't use X-Boost, so I'm just letting you know. All right, I had to raise these units because this screen is really not that easy to see unless it's in a certain angle. Now we have 68% on the battery there on the RYOBI, and we've got a Wagner heating gun. Let's put that on low. See what we get. 500. Nothing, right? 500? Nothing. No problem. Let's put it on high. 900 or 1136. No problem, right? All right, drop to 66% on the battery now, 65. Says it can run that load for 30 minutes. All right, let's try something else. All right, the EcoFlow now has the Wagner connected to it. Let's put this on low. 400 and change. Not a problem. 485, look at that. Fan is on. Let's turn this on to high. I'm at 481 now. Let's go to high. 1138. Not a problem. Easy for these two guys. 1,000 watts, no problem. Says it'll run it for 30 minutes. All right, battery's 66%. Well, that works so far. Well, let's connect a ceramic heater. It's got 2 settings. Let's turn on setting number 1. 655, 833, 1,000, 1144. I know the surge on this is higher and then it goes down. All right, again, run it for 31 minutes based off that load. Battery's now 63%. All right, we're adjusting to around 900 and change after that surge. Let's kick on setting number 2. 1190, 1395, 14, 1540, 1588, 1570. Let's leave that. And I've got this all the way up, by the way. So let's leave this for a moment and see what it can do. No problem. Says 20 minutes it can run it. Battery's 60% now. Load level says 87%. All right, dropping down now. All right, 13. Dropping down after that surge. All right, let's try the EcoFlow. All right, it's plugged into the EcoFlow. That sound you hear is the RYOBI fan. I love it. It's kind of a weird sound. But now let's turn on to setting number 1. 1626, and then it dropped to 995, 7 and change. All right, 760, 780. So that surge you saw there in the beginning, well, I'll tell you, some machines can't handle that surge. All right, we are adjusting here. 872, 879. All right. Let's kick it up a notch. Let's go ahead and do setting number 2. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1346, 1477, 1580, 1644. All right, so 1644, and now it's going to adjust after that surge. It says I can run it for 50, well, that can't be, 59 minutes maybe, yeah. All right, because it says hours, which is weird. But dropping down to that 13. Again, both of these machines handling these loads no problem. Let's see what we have when we get up to that 1600 mark. There you go, pretty cool. Okay, now we're going to take the ceramic heater. We're going to let that go up and come back down to around 1300. And then we're going to connect the heat gun and see what happens. Now that might be a little unfair because if you're not aware when you watch the beginning of this video, this says 1800 watts everywhere on the box, on the website. But guess what? It can only do 1800 watts for 3 minutes. This is really a 1600 watt power station. So we'll find out no matter what. All right, I'm going to start off turning on the heater. I'm going to bring it all the way up. So we're on level 2 and immediately, wow, the surge on that was over 2000. Interesting. So it's 14 and change. Going to drop down to about 13. Now the heat gun I believe is about 500 on low. So again, it will be a little unfair, but again, let's see if it can do anything. And then obviously we're going to do the same with the EcoFlow. So we're at 1360. All right, let's go ahead and turn the heat gun on low and see what happens. Low, 1641, 1860 something, 1840, 1830. All right, and it tripped. Okay, that's all right. We knew it would. We just wanted to do a little test. Let's check the EcoFlow on that one. All right, I'm ready to go on the EcoFlow. I'm going to turn the AC off on the RYOBI because of that fan noise. All right, now let's start off with the ceramic heater all the way on high. A surge of 2206 I just saw. Fan is right on. You see that on high. Let's let it drop down and then we'll turn the heat gun on, only on low to be fair. All right, I got 1390 so far. All right, 1389. It's not dropping down to about 1360, but all right, let's put the fan, let's put the Wagner on low. Ready, 1, 2, 3. 1825, 1819. All right, holding. No X boost, by the way, guys. X boost is off. We showed you in the beginning. Look at this, okay? Already holding longer than the RYOBI. That is the one thing about these EcoFlow power stations. They are really, really nice. 1805, holding, not a problem. Again, I'm going to wait, but This is an 1800 watt power station, so it's probably going to stay on the whole time. It tells me I have 14 minutes left at 56% battery. Guys, the heat gun is on, the heater is on, and we are holding $17.99. Not a problem. Ah, wow, I'm telling you. That's it. That's pretty darn cool. All right, we're going to do one more test to see if we can hang around that 1600 watts for this machine. Be right back. Okay, I am now set up. I'm going to go ahead and turn this on. We've got the heater. Again, we're going to wait for this to turn on so you can see the surge. All right, I'm going to kick it all the way on high to check out this surge. A 2092 surge. All right, so it handled the surge, right? It's going to drop down to 13 and change. It is all the way on high. And then what I did was I have a charger here. This is around 300 watts. So I just want to see if it can handle that. And then I'll have to do something else. All right, so again, 1382, no problem. Says it'll run for 19 minutes. The battery is 55%. Load level, 87%. Let's go ahead and plug in this charger now, and then we'll watch the screen. All right, 1397. All right, let's watch this. All right, the charger's coming on. I got 1460, 1500. 1560, 100% load level. All right, 1585. Coming close to the 1600, but let's see if it'll hold this 1580, right? You hear the fan, it's pretty loud. The ceramic heater's on also, but it's not as loud. So the whistling is coming from the RYOBI. Again, 100% load level. Will it stay and hold 1580? That's going to be interesting because, again, this machine is screaming right now. Looks like it's holding it. That's good news, at least if it says it's a 1600 watt power station. But anyone buying this that thinks it's 1800 watts is going to be disappointed. Alright guys, I'm going to call that a success. It is still holding it. Again, charger. Ceramic heater all the way on high. What else can I do? Alright guys, we're going to continue with the RYOBI for a minute, and then I'm going to do one more thing on the EcoFlow. Again, just a power challenge, right? So let's turn this on to low. Watch the surge. So 1400 watt surge. Wow. Okay. And then this is about 600 watts or so. So let's just see what happens. All right, I got 9 and change so far. All right. So we got 900 and change. 58% load, 45% battery. All right, let's plug this charger in. I've got the ceramic heater on low, so let's plug in this charger and watch the screen. 40,000. Okay. 1200. 1300. 1400. Maybe it'll come down because I'd like to put the ceramic heater on high, but I don't think I have that option. I don't think I can go much past 1600 with this unit. It says the load level is 100%. You know, we were at 1580 and it held pretty well, but I think this is just too much on high. All right, what else can I plug in? Trying to think. All right, it's holding there. Let me put the ceramic heater on high. I believe it's going to trip no matter what, but let's just do it for now. Again, 17, 19. Okay, yep, it did. I'm trying, guys. I'm really trying to get over that 1600 watts. Alright, let's turn on the ceramic heater again. Level 1. Alright, there you go. 1300 watt surge. It'll come down to, I think, the 9 and change area. And then I'm going to try 2 chargers. Okay. Alright, I'm going to plug in these 2 chargers right here. Let me make sure I have a battery on this. Alright. I'm going to plug in 2 chargers now and watch. Alright, I don't know. This is super close. 1150, 1200, 13. 14 coming up. 15. 100% load level. 1640, 1670. I don't know. God. Well, we're not over 1800, so let's see if it can hold this. No. Alright, anything over that 1600, you're done. Alright, guys. Let's move on to this EcoFlow. I want to see if I can get more than the 1800 watts. Alright, I have all 3 things connected to the EcoFlow, so let's turn that on, and then I'll amp it up a little bit. Alright, AC is on. Let's watch. Everything is turning on. Fan is kicking on. 500. 600. 7. 800. 830. And I forgot to turn this on. Alright, here we go. Let's turn this on. That'll be, well, a little surge. 1883, 2242. So 2242 on the surge. And then it'll come back down. Alright, so it's coming back down. Alright, to that 1700 area. Alright, 1780. So, of course, it's holding. It's no problem. Alright, what can we add on to this now? Alright, well, I got to add something else on. Give me a second. Alright, we have a ceramic heater. And we have an induction cooktop. And that's what we're going to do right now. Alright, we're going to start off turning on the AC. And then I'll start off turning on the ceramic heater. Let's turn the ceramic heater on low. Again, 1300 and change on the surge. And then it drops down to about 1000. Now, this has some settings, so let me turn this on now. And then drop it down to 1 real quick and watch this. It's on 1. So I got 1600, 1700, and it'll drop down. That's just a surge. Alright, so that's on low. 15, 16. Alright, it's on a low heat setting is what it is. Alright, now I'm going to bring this up a little bit. I'm going to put this on setting 5 and see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, 6, 18, 1900. 1960. Holding. Holding 19 and change. Wow, I tell you, huh? 1900 and holding, now dropping down a little bit. Alright, I wonder if I can bring this up and drop more. I'm going to bring this to setting 8. 2136. All right, now surge rating on this is 2700 watts, so it's holding 2100 and change right now. I'll tell you. Now let me drop this to 7. It ain't gonna make a big difference, but I'll tell you, 1990, holding, 40% left on the battery. And again, guys, thing that you need to know is X boost is off. You see that? X boost is off. This thing is holding 1980 watts like a champ. I mean, it's insane. All right, well, let's bring this up to 9. Go here and see 2,222 watts. Okay, holding. I mean, this is insane. That is crazy. Okay, there you go. We overloaded after a while. All right, guys, there's your power test. I hope that helps you, plugging in actual devices. All right, but I really hope that helped you. Let's get into more. All right, guys, very fun video to make, and I really hope you see the information about the RYOBI in the video, that it's not 1800 watts and what I uncovered. So look back in the video to see that. I was disappointed to see that, but I hope you found the information in this video helpful. And if you did, take a moment and give us a thumbs up. We'd really appreciate it. It helps the channel and it helps the video. Also, follow us on social media right up there. We've got a few areas of social media that we're in. And we do have a Tesla channel. We got a Tesla. In January, we've got almost 12,000 miles now. And we've learned a lot. So right now we're doing some accessory reviews. We will soon come out with how is it to go from a gas car to a Tesla. Those videos are coming, but we hope you subscribe. And by the way, if you want to subscribe to our channel at techmadeezy, just click the round logo right there that just pops up on the screen, and you can subscribe to techmadeezy. And on the right side, I will put our Power Station playlist. All right, thanks so much. You guys have a great day.